Welcome to the Brew Crew channel. Today I got me, Da Vinci Denard, and my partner, Kevin Simone. And today we're talking about the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring bracket tournament, whatever you want to call it, championship match, or restart all that. I didn't know what to say. Wholeheartedly did not know what to say.
Just be like, today we are going to be predicting the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, starting from all four blocks leading to the finals.
Okay, so today we're going to be predicting the King of the Ring tournaments. All right. Okay. Welcome back to the Brew Crew channel. Today we are going to be predicting the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments from all four blocks all the way up to the finals of what is the pay-per-view? Do you know? Clash of Champions, right?
Uh,
I thought it was
n-
It's Night of Champions.
let me look it up.
It's Night of Champions.
It is
I was gonna say
Night of Champions this year.
Night of Champions. I was gonna say at Saudi Arabia, but it's Night of Champions. But yeah, we're gonna be going over that. We're gonna be predicting our tournaments, starting with the men's tournament. Kaven, who you got as your
Okay.
first Raw bracket? Who you got in your first Raw bracket?
Should I run down my first Raw bracket or should I run down my whole bracket first?
Let's do first Raw bracket. Let's do first
All
Raw
right,
bracket.
we'll break up block by block.
Block by
So
block.
my Raw block one is El Grande Americano or Chad Gable, one of the two.
Okay.
Ilya Dragunov returning from injury,
Okay.
Sami Zayn, and CM Punk.
Okay. Now, okay, that's a good bracket. That's a good bracket.
Would you like me to say who my winner is?
Yes, because I do have questions about that bracket. But go ahead. Who's your winner of that?
So for this, CM Punk gets taken out by Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, or someone in this match, and Ilya Dragunov just can't pull it out. Grande Americano just can't pull it out. Sami Zayn ends up becoming victorious, pinning CM Punk,
Okay. Okay.
which is bold, I know, but Sami Zayn pinned CM Punk in this match.
Now, were you saying bracket one is what part of the show were you saying this? Because I put bracket one as in the beginning part of the show, so everyone in my bracket wouldn't be like the main event. Because you had CM Punk and Sammy, and that feels like the
Oh,
main event. So I just want to clarify that before I get into mine. That
so this, I think they're gonna do a match this week and a match next week.
match this week, match next week. Okay,
Yes, and so we get round one this week and then round two next week.
round one this week, round
Because
two next week. Okay,
because that's how I laid out my next one. Because there might be someone who's already busy this week
okay. So
and next week.
for me, I did it main event, not main event. So my bracket one is
Okay.
not the main event, but will be on the show, obviously, but it's not the main event. And I
Yes.
have Dominic Mysterio, AJ Styles, Chad Gable, and Penta, which I just was assumed that would be the first bracket setup.
I'm gonna be honest. My first draft was CM Punk, Penta, Ilya, and Chad.
Okay.
So it was very
It was
similar.
very similar. So I had Dom and AJ, Chad and Penta, and the person I had win was Penta because it's not going to be El Grande Americano. It's going to be Chad Gable. AJ and Dom are going to be fighting each other, and I just feel like Penta
Exactly.
would go to Night of Champions. I feel like they would, Penta would be shown. So I think Penta's winning that first round.
So I also had AJ in mind instead of CM Punk at first, and so it was like nearly the
Very,
same
very,
exact match.
very similar. Very
I'm
similar.
glad I changed it up a bit because I was like, I realistically need someone who's going to challenge for a world title
For a world
at
title.
SummerSlam. And I was like, because originally I had Penta going through,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know if that's gonna happen, and so I very quickly switched it up.
Yeah.
But it makes sense in the long run because I did break my groups up in different types of wrestlers, and so this is like my more grounded base, like kind of lighter dudes, nothing crazy,
Not,
and possibly my block two are all big boys.
okay. See, now block two overall.
Well,
Who
no,
you?
first we should do SmackDown block one.
SmackDown block one. Okay, so for my SmackDown block one, kind of similar to how I based on SmackDown block or Raw block one. I kind of did
Okay.
like guys that I feel like would be on the show, just the mid card basically. And so I have Carmelo Hayes, Aleister Black, Andrade, and Jimmy Uso.
Okay.
That was my four of those four fighting each other, and I had surprisingly, I had Melo pulling out the victory on this one because Melo lost the Money in the Bank opportunity, and I feel like they will give Melo this opportunity, at least to go to the semifinals. Not to say to win, but he will go to the semifinals. And I think Jimmy Uso is still dealing with Solo and them. He's gonna have to team up with Solo because Jacob just turned on him. He might even team up with Jacob. Honestly, he might team up with Jacob because Jacob might become
Possibly.
the good guy. Andrade is just in a little shuffle. They're trying to give Andrade stuff. I don't think people are getting behind Andrade since the return. Aleister Black is still here. They should get Aleister Black is just now getting here. He's still trying to build himself up. He also has potential to win Aleister Black and Melo. I just don't know about Aleister Black right now, where we're going with that.
So mine, I originally wanted to give Carmelo. I wanted to put Carmelo in the finals, but I was like, that's never going to happen. Realistically, it's not
Realistically.
happening. He's
Okay.
stuck with the Miz right now, so it's not a possibility.
You know that's my guy though.
So
You know that's my guy
I,
though.
instead of even putting him in a match and having him lose, I just kept him out of it as a whole.
Oh, okay.
And so my first block is Aleister Black, Andrade, Jacob Fatu, and Solo Sikoa.
Okay,
And so,
see, okay.
yeah.
Two
And so
out
we
of
had very similar
two
minds.
out of
And so
two.
I
Okay.
had Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa pretty much canceling each other out.
Yeah.
They pretty much go through the barricade, go through a table,
It's
whatever it
so
is.
funny. I'm sorry.
And then,
You,
you keep going.
I wrote Jimmy, but my cross out is Jacob right there. So Jacob was on that list as well, but I crossed him out.
Exactly.
I was like, no, he's gonna. I'll do it later, but
And so then in my head, I'm like, okay, it's going to be Andrade or Aleister Black. And I was like, well, I personally want Andrade because I think Andrade should be given the world. But I went with Aleister Black because I think, oh, he's new. We got to have him win something, yada, yada.
mm-hmm.
And so I put Aleister Black as my winner of Block 1, making the first set of semifinals Sami Zayn versus Aleister Black, which I think has a possibility of being decent.
I have Penta versus Melo in my first blocks.
Great match.
That's a great match. That's a
Great
great match.
match
I
right
mean,
there.
Penta, Aleister Black. I would have had Aleister Black too. I mean, it's right there.
Okay.
I did have Jacob in this first block, and then I was like, no, he doesn't fit with them because he clearly
Yeah,
would beat all of them. That's why.
I agree. And
Yeah,
so I put Jacob in there solely for the fact that I think that he won't be involved in the finish period.
yeah.
Like
I
he'll
tried to
just
put
be a
I
non.
tried to put as evenly as possible victory chances in each of my brackets, where it's like, okay, if this person did win, he didn't win against someone that is clearly like you weren't supposed to win, you know.
I agree.
And then
And
so
so
yeah,
now, do you want to get onto Raw Block 2?
Raw block two. Who you got? Who you rocking with?
I've got this is my favorite fatal four way. Braun Breaker versus Gunther versus Rusev versus Sheamus.
That's a big boys. That's a big
I
boys.
the craziest part is I went with Sheamus winning.
Oh, that's disgusting. I
No,
love Sheamus.
no, no,
I
no, no.
love Sheamus. That's disgusting.
You'll understand in a second.
That just
But
sounded crazy.
no,
Man.
Sheamus and Rusev, they'll be like head to head the whole entire match. Braun Breaker and Gunther. Obviously, Braun is. I don't think he will win. I think he could be a surprise. Like, oh, crap, he does move on. What happens with the dynamic with him and Seth now? And so, but Gunther gets taken out 2 weeks in a row by Goldberg because he got taken out the week before tonight when it gets recorded. Jey Uso versus Gunther be interrupted by Goldberg spearing Gunther. It will happen again a week later with Goldberg spearing Gunther. And then we'll have a little Braun Breaker Goldberg face down because they're the same person.
Yeah.
And then Goldberg will spear Braun Breaker too.
That's his hero.
And so then Rusev and Sheamus will have a tough match, but I think they'll give it to Sheamus in the end.
Okay. That doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound bad. It just sounded bad when you said the names. If I didn't put Gunther in my tournament, I'm just letting y'all know now.
That makes
Because
sense.
if Gunther is in it, I feel like wouldn't he just go back to back?
Which I don't think anyone would complain about it. That's the thing.
Yeah, if he would just go back to back. So I didn't put him in
Yeah.
it. And I also thought he was already doing something, like he would already have like a title match at the pay-per-view. So that's why
Against who? Dom?
no, against like Jay again.
Again?
Yeah, for like the third time. It would be the third time because it's stupid to have this title match tonight on Raw. We're recording this on Monday, so
Yeah.
it'd be stupid to have that tonight on Raw. It's stupid to have that title match. So for my bracket, I have it's gonna be I think it's really good. I have Finn Balor, Sami Zayn,
Okay. Okay.
Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, CM Punk, Logan Paul are the people.
I forgot about Logan Paul.
Are the people in it, and I'm not a Logan guy, but I had him winning to go. He would go over. CM Punk and Sammy got to deal with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and all of them, which would get interrupted. Finn Balor, Dom would somehow try to cheat for Finn, mess up again. Logan, he throws the brass knuckles and rolls and grabs Logan, picks him up, hits him. Stupid stuff. Logan moves on. Logan's talking like, "Oh, I'm about to be y'all king of the ring, like y'all letting a YouTuber be the king of the ring of WWE and all that." So
This is horrible.
it's
And it's so gonna happen, isn't it?
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen exactly.
Well, my thing is, there's no way Logan's wrestling
And
twice in
yup,
2 days. That's my
And
thing.
Cena is helping, and we don't know if Cena would help. Like I just gave the King of the Ring one of the most prestigious things that Stone Cold has held. Bret Hart, like Triple H,
Gunther.
Gunther, like everybody's held this. Everybody held King of the Ring, and now YouTubers hold it. Cena's running the WWE, and blah blah blah. And Travis Scott comes out, Fiend. It's
Fiend.
like, no, that's not happening. But Logan Paul winning this portion of the block is potentially to happen.
Diabolical.
Yeah, and he
Um.
doesn't have to wrestle 2 weeks. If we do it block by block, he could do it like next week.
Oh yeah, they could do it next week.
He could do it.
Well, to finish out my little grouping would be my SmackDown Block 2, whoever's facing Sheamus. And it's going to be LA Knight, Randy Orton, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. And, of course, Drew McIntyre wins to bring Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus for the semifinals.
Ooh,
Fight
okay.
forever.
I totally forgot about Randy Orton and LA Knight. Because I have Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, and Ray Phoenix.
Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. Okay.
And I had Damian Priest fighting Logan Paul.
You're writing my worst nightmare right now. What is going on?
I don't think I had Damian Priest fighting Logan Paul. What are we gonna have?
This cannot get any worse.
Let me tell you, Logan Paul loses the Priest, and Carmelo Hayes loses the Penta. Is Damian Priest versus Penta as my finals? Yep.
So I have Sami Zayn beating Aleister Black, and I have Sheamus beating Drew McIntyre. Surprisingly, because he hasn't beat him in years.
That sounds like a fantasy.
But he finally goes over, and then Sami Zayn becomes the king of the ring.
I do think Sammy will be king of the ring. Like
Finally setting himself up for something. I do think he loses at SummerSlam now.
I will give you Sammy could be king of the ring. Because we talked about this just outside, just in real life. We just talked about this.
Yeah.
Just before we knew the tournament was actually happening. Making the list of this, I don't think Sammy would get king of the ring. He's more likely,
Hear me out.
He's more likely to win Elimination Chamber.
Hear me out. So Sammy wins this. He goes on to SummerSlam, where he wrestles. I wish Jey Uso would not be champion by then, but he wrestles Jey Uso. And so it's like finally they're against each other for the first time in God knows how long. Sammy wins. Seth cashes in. Another 5-minute title reign. Sammy's never actually a world champion for like real. Then it comes all the way back around. He wins the Royal Rumble and finally wins the World Championship. He's doing the Daniel Bryan story. He's doing the Daniel Bryan story.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. Sammy loses. If he wins, he loses at SummerSlam, goes to shake his hand. Seth Rollins and them walk down. Jay turns around. Sammy low blows Jay. Seth cashes in, wins the title. Sammy turns on them. Sammy's in their group.
Sammy's not going heel for the rest of his career. That's my take.
He's going. He's turning heel.
He ain't turning heel.
He's turning heel.
So, who did you have winning your tournament again?
The winner I had. So, I guess, yeah, that's who's going to win. I circled it. So it's Damian Priest versus Penta, and I have Penta winning.
Penta. So you think Penta's going on to Summer and like basically main eventing SummerSlam?
I won't say he won't main event because it's 2 nights, and I think the women
Well,
will.
but
I
he's
think the
getting a
women will
title
main.
shot
Yeah, he'll get a title shot.
against Jay.
Yeah, Penta J. Yep.
You're insane.
Now I'm
Is there
insane.
Yeet Zero Yato Yeet Zero
Yeah,
Yato Yeet.
yeah. Penta, Penta J, which would be like it would start like night 2 after Seth will cash in. Seth will fight CM Punk at SummerSlam, lose. Night 2, Jay and Penta will fight, have a good match. Jay will win. Seth cashes in.
Okay, that's fair. Now you said so. You have Penta as your winner as King of the Ring, and I have Sami Zayn as King of the Ring.
Yeah,
If whoever you guys think is the better option, make sure to let us know.
yeah. Let us know.
But I think my better tournament is my women's tournament.
I honestly, I think mine's is worse, but
Really?
I think mine's is worse. I still did the same bracket style as the men's.
Exactly. I did too.
I did the same bracket style as the men as far as how I blocked it in my head. I think
Oh,
as far as how I blocked it in my head, I think I could have had better choices. I think a lot of people will probably say those matches won't happen, and it was hard for me to put people where I think they should go. I think a lot of
all right.
people are better than where they are, but like are not being used at where they are right now. So,
Fair.
so for my block one, I have this would be the main event block one. First off, this
Okay.
is the main event one.
All
It's
right.
kind of switched. So I have Kyrie Sane,
Okay.
Stephanie Bagger, Stephanie back here. Yeah, I totally butcher. I always butcher it. That's why I don't like saying it. I like saying Stephanie.
Okay.
Rhea and Liv for
Okay.
that first block.
Is that SmackDown?
This is Raw. This is Raw.
How Stephanie's on?
Raw.
Oh yeah, Stephanie's on Raw.
Stephanie's
Correct.
on Raw. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I had Rhea winning.
Okay.
I had Rhea
Sounds
winning
good.
that one.
I also have Rhea winning my Raw block one.
Okay.
Mine is though Ivy Nile, Kyrie Sane, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley.
Okay,
And so
so
we
you
get
get
the
a
little
nice.
Rhea and Liv thing. We get a little
Yep.
Kyrie and
Yeah.
Rhea moment. That'd be a little fun.
Yeah.
And then Ivy's just there to fill in the spot,
See,
realistically.
I didn't. Yeah, I couldn't put Ivy there because I had Roxanne in there at first, and then I was like, no, maybe later. We'll say that for
Okay,
later. We'll say that for
that's
later.
fair.
I knew we were gonna get Rhea Liv. We're gonna get Rhea Liv. That's
Of
regardless.
course.
Yeah.
Yes,
Whatever. Yeah. We're gonna get Rhea Liv. We got to get Rhea and Stephanie. We've already seen them stare down face to face backstage. That's why I put them in the same block.
I agree.
We got to get that. And Kyrie's just been on a roll fighting Liv. So Kyrie's there because of Liv. So
Okay,
that goes
like
full
that.
circle. That goes full circle. All four of them are dealing with each other. And then for the SmackDown block one, this is the same thing. These are the main event ones. So
Okay.
I have Julia,
Mhm.
Jade Cargill, Charlotte, and Nia.
Okay, man, our blocks are so similar. There's not many choices, though, to be fair.
There's not that many choices, and the way you
No,
would block them up is like the perfect way.
exactly.
Um, and surprisingly, I have Jade going over in this one.
Whoa, I almost did similar,
I
but I'll
have
tell you what
Jade
I
going
did.
over in this one. Obviously, Charlotte is my favorite women's wrestler of all time. Didn't have Charlotte win. I think Charlotte's about to go through a phase of losing, at least for right now.
It's Charlotte. You think she's gonna put up with that?
And I'm just saying for right now. Clearly, until like a change is gonna happen.
Okay,
Because she also
fine.
is talking backstage with like Alexa Bliss and stuff.
That's fair.
So
Um,
I think that's a change is gonna happen. Charlotte's just gonna put up with a couple of losing for a little bit. Nia's also gonna go through a period of just not doing anything. Nia just had the belt. I
yeah.
think Jade has to win because the Naomi storyline is Naomi has Money in the Bank. You want to have a reason for Jade to ruin Naomi's cash in, which I do not want. Let me say that. Do not want Naomi to fail the cash in, but I know for a fact Naomi's gonna fail to cash in because of Jade. So you have to
Yeah.
give Jade a reason to make Naomi fail to cash in. And I think when it comes to my semifinals, Rhea versus Jade, Jade's gonna get messed up by Naomi.
Okay. So I have a similar reasoning for my winner, but I think Naomi's going to take Jade out in this match
Oh,
because
okay.
my match is Michin, Nia Jax, and realistically, I don't see either of them winning. Jade Cargill, she's going to get taken out by Naomi, or there's going to be a big spot with her and Nia, and they're both out. And then Julia, who is the winner of this block.
Okay.
Julia gets put over. Young talent, very exciting. We get a Julia Rhea Ripley match, something we've never seen before. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a fun little TV match right there that I think will go around 17, 18 minutes, and people will love it.
Okay, Rhea Julia. That
Hmm.
that sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah.
So you have Julia, Jade, Michin, and Naya.
I had Jade, Julia, Misha, and Nia.
Okay.
So three of the
Three.
three out of your
I mean, we're
four.
very, very similar. Very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for my Raw block 2, this is my mid card one. This is the one that's in the middle of the show. I
Okay.
have Roxanne,
Okay.
Raquel, Ivy Niles,
Okay.
and Lyra.
Okay.
That would be my 4. And I have Roxanne winning. Raquel, Roxanne, they're going to get into a big fight. Lyra's going to probably come in, hit them and stuff. Hit Raquel, whatever. They're going to get into it. Roxanne just sneaks out the win. Probably rolls up Ivy Niles. Raquel's dealing with Lyra. Lyra's fighting Becky. Whatever. Just
Yeah.
something that, like, when they get backstage, you'd be like, you cheated me from winning that match. That's what Raquel's going to say, and the whole Judgment Day is going to get into it. Maybe Finn Balor's like, she didn't cheat you. You got knocked out by Lyra, even though you hit your finisher on Ivy. She's just doing something that the Judgment Day would have done for each other.
Fair.
Something like
I
that.
like that.
Something like that, you know? So, yeah. Chiquita
Rock.
Bomb on Ivy, right? Boom. Lyra comes in, tries to breaks up the pin. So Ivy's still knocked out. Raquel and Lyra are fighting. Roxanne pop rocks Ivy. 1, 2, 3. Picks it up.
So mine is actually surprisingly different.
Oh,
I do have Roxanne Perez in this one,
okay.
but I have Roxanne, Stephanie Vicker,
Okay.
Natalia, and Bailey. And I think this will be the best fatal four way
You think
of
Bailey's coming back?
the women. I think Bailey's coming back, and Roxanne and Bailey pick up that feud that never got a real match to it.
Bailey's got to fight Becky, though.
That'll happen, but she's gonna start fighting Roxanne first, and then she'll fight Becky, and then it's a whole situation.
Okay.
And then
I'm gonna let you cook.
Stephanie Vicure wins.
Okay.
We have a young winner in each side of the tournament, or a new winner to show two brand new faces because we have to get people set up for Evolution 2. We have to have some names so that there's actual decent like star power on this card before the show happens. And so we like getting Julia and Stephanie some wins before that show would be super big. And people kind of already know Roxanne, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And so she's already a selling point, in my opinion. But if we get those two with the WWE backing and not just the outside of WWE backing, that'd be huge.
I was about to say, we got both young talent, but I didn't. I had Jade Cargill win for me.
Yeah.
So, what you can argue, Jade's fairly new to WWE.
Jade's fairly new. She's just fairly bad still.
Yeah. I feel like that Bailey thing wouldn't happen because Becky was the last person to attack her, so she would just go straight after Becky. And Evolution 2, Becky Bailey Intercontinental Championship.
You don't think Lyra versus Becky in like a last man standing match?
We're getting Lyra Becky 4 at Evolution?
Maybe we do it at Night of Champions. Is Lyra Becky, and then it leaves room
for Bailey.
Yeah.
I think Bailey returns at SummerSlam. Is Evolution 2 before SummerSlam?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
Bailey has to return before
then.
Yeah.
And then my SmackDown from block 2. I'm so disappointed.
I think mine's equal as what it is. It's most
realistic. Chelsea Green, Alexa Bliss. Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair. And my winner is Charlotte Flair.
That's good.
Charlotte goes over. I hate
Yeah.
Charlotte, but
Yeah.
Charlotte comes in
Yeah.
and wins. Of course she
Oh,
does.
we were so
That means that
similar.
we're getting Stephanie Vaquer versus Charlotte Flair.
Oh, Rhea, Julia, Stephanie versus Charlotte. That's actually kind
Yes.
of heat.
That's
That's
heat,
kind of
right?
heat. That's
That's
kind of
heat.
heat. That's kind of
That is
heat.
so
Okay,
good.
okay. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
I was I was cooking with this.
You were
I
cooking.
I knew
You were
what I was
cooking.
doing with this women's
You were
bracket.
cooking. You were cooking. But I think
Yes.
I have the most realistic match we will possibly have out of any of these brackets. This is the most 100% will be on TV.
Okay.
Chelsea Green, Alexa Bliss, Michin, Zelina Vega. That is 100% on TV this Friday. This Friday, that match is on TV. I do not care what anyone says. This match, Chelsea Green, Alexa Bliss, Michin, Zelina Vega, it is on TV. It is on TV. Now,
Oh,
I have Alexa
that
winning.
sucks.
That sucks. I know you were cooking. I know you were cooking, but I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I had to be realistic. I had to be realistic. The most realistic match. I know yours sounds so much better now that I think about it. Now that I think about it, because
The duality of these minds is insane. What is your two semifinals?
Rhea versus Jade Cargill and Roxanne versus Alexa, which is not that bad. Which is not that bad. I don't think Alexa Bliss is the same Alexa Bliss that was the 5-time women's champion Alexa Bliss when she was on that
No.
run. She's not that
The
Alexa Bliss.
the goddess?
Yeah, she's not the goddess. Nowhere. No, it didn't. Yeah, not nowhere near that. But I do think her and Roxanne will put on a decently solid match.
Oh, did you see Alexa Bliss's power bomb at Money in the Bank?
They'll put on a decently solid match. And then Rhea versus Jade. Naomi's interrupting that anyway, so does it matter? Does the match matter? But
Oh god.
I think that way we can get Rhea versus Jade out of the way as well.
That's fair. Well, so the way my semifinals are going to go: Rhea versus Julia, Stephanie versus Charlotte. Rhea does indeed beat Julia,
Yeah.
and so the hope for those young women is over there. And Stephanie versus Charlotte, of course. Stephanie Vaquer beats Charlotte Flair with an upset. I know,
I would be
but
so.
the final is Rhea Ripley versus Stephanie Vaquer.
I like Stephanie Vaquer. If that happens, first off, I've already been sick once this year. All right, WrestleMania made me sick already, and I was pissed. So two times in a row.
You didn't even have Charlotte winning her Fatal 4-Way.
I mean, that's some like circumstances though. That's a fatal 4-way. She didn't get pinned.
Well, what if someone comes out to set Charlotte up for a big match at Evolution during this tournament? Like,
she better win that. What? Ronda Rousey comes back? That'd be stupid. That'd be stupid. I hope you know what? I hope your tournament ends with Ronda Rousey coming back and pointing at the Evolution 2 sign. And ruins your whole thing. I hope it ruins your whole thing. But that actually sounds heat. Wait, who'd you have win? Oh, did you?
So Rhea versus Stephanie in the finals.
Yeah.
Rhea does win, of course.
Okay, but
Stephanie gets close.
I have Rhea versus Jade. Like I said, Naomi interrupts Jade, giving her a reason to ruin Naomi's cash in.
Yes.
Which I think that cash in would pan out a different way than what I'm saying. She will ruin it, but Naomi still will end up being champion. So it will still be 100%. But it would be Jade end up messing with Tiffany somehow.
Got it.
And then we have Rhea in the finals. And then I have Roxanne versus Alexa. And that will come down to a good match and everything. Liv comes out, messes up Roxanne, giving us Alexa versus Rhea in the finals. Because you did a new talent last year with Nia versus Lyra. I don't think they would do that back to back.
Okay.
So you'll get Rhea versus Alexa, and you also got to rebuild Alexa back up, and you also want to keep Rhea as relevant. Rhea wins.
Okay, so we both have Rio winning.
We both have Rio winning.
Yours is a much less fun course to get there, but
mine is more realistic. Rhea versus Alexa in the finals.
yeah, but who wants to watch that? Like, who
It's
really wants to watch Alexa?
It's gonna be what it is. It's gonna be what it is.
Jeez
Sister
Louise.
Abigail reversed into Riptide.
All I'm saying is when Sami Zayn and Rhea Ripley are wearing their crowns next to each other, it's going to be a beautiful moment.
Or when Penta and Rhea
It's going to be
Ripley.
amazing.
When Penta and Rhea Ripley.
Oh my gosh, and then she can have
the
another.
Terra Twins. You could have Damian Priest win in my bracket. Damian Priest versus Penta, and Damian Priest wins, and Rhea both win. So they both win together.
That's a Triple H booking right there if I've ever seen one. Jeez Louise.
He's pointing at he's pointing at both of them. He's pointing at both of them.
That's horrible.
Well,
Da Vinci.
Mine's is realistic. That is what.
I know.
That's what's gonna happen.
We'll see. I'm sure tonight when these brackets finally come out.
Yeah.
We'll see how close we are.
We'll see how close.
And whoever you think's bracket's better, or you can also say who's more realistic. Please let us know. I think mine's better. Maybe not as realistic, but I think it's better.
I think mine's more realistic. Wouldn't say better, but more realistic.
Fair.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right.
Well,
and we'll catch y'all later, y'all.
Bye.